And welcome to the capital of Pennsylvania, Harrisburg, where a new era of soccer has begun. As tonight, it's the inaugural home match for Penn FC as they take on longtime rival, the Charleston Battery. Brian Kaiser along with Charlie Giroux. And Charlie, what a vibe we have right now here at FNB Field. We've got a matchup between two teams who've played already, but really the key thing is it's the first game for Penn FC at their home field.
New name and new personnel, new coach, even a new broadcast team, Brian, and a lot of new energy tonight. An opportunity for Penn FC to put a W on the board, which is really important at this stage of the season.
Looking forward to having a great matchup here. And the guy who in their first game on March 24th was able to score the goal for Charleston to give them a 1-0 victory was number 10, Untitled Chapter. He's a TNT international, third year with the club, and he's a guy who really has hurt this Penn FC / Harrisburg City Islanders team in the past. And it's a team that last year he scored a goal in each of their matchups, both wins by Charleston, and had that goal in the initial game this year. On the Harrisburg side for Penn FC, it's Ramu Pizer, their goalie, 38 years old. But he's only given up 2 goals in 3 games, and he has been a rock, a guy who has absolutely solidified things in the back for this Penn FC squad. He brings NASL experience as a championship keeper a year ago for the San Francisco Deltas, and now he's backstopping here in Harrisburg. It looks like a great matchup. It's Penn FC. It's the Charleston Battery. USL Soccer continues after this.
All across Pennsylvania, families are living their lives in their own homes. Not long ago, none of these families believed it possible. And then they discovered there was someone who could help. What was once only a dream is now a reality. Welcome home.
And welcome back to Harrisburg, Pennsylvania. FNB Field is the place. It's the inaugural home game. Penn FC taking on the Charleston Battery. Let's take a look at our starting lineups for tonight's game. We'll start off with the lineup of the visitors, the Charleston Battery. Our featured player, number 10, Untitled Chapter, is up top as one of the forwards. They're running a 3-4-3 here tonight. Guys in the back, Taylor Mueller, Skylar Thomas, especially, and Neville Hackshaw. A great back group for them to really solidify things in the back. Also keep an eye on the speed of Ta Anungwa on the outside. We move over to Penn FC, and their inaugural starting lineup for them has Lucky Mkasan up top. Salih Muhammad joins him. And this is a team that's using a 3-5-2 formation, unfortunately for Penn FC. Tommy Heineman, the guy who has their lone goal of the season, wasn't available for the first game between these two teams, is not available today. Going to put a lot more pressure on some of the other guys, but Tiago Calvano, Kenny Tribbett, Harry Hawkins, the guys in the back who lock things down in front of the keeper, Ramu Pizer. For Penn FC, Raul Voss on the bench here today, as he is now the head coach of this team, replacing Bill Betcher in this franchise. And he is a guy who came up through the Tampa Bay Rowdies organization. His first head coaching opportunity, the 34-year-old, is in his first year on the bench for Penn FC. Not the same for the guy on the other side, though. For Charleston, it is the legend, Mike Anhauser, who is a guy who's been with this organization forever. 26th season with the organization, 15th as the head coach on the Battery bench. We've got a matchup tonight between these two teams, and the guys who will be keeping it locked down on the inside are referees. Center referee Guido Gonzalez Jr., Zeno Cho, Tyler Rostek are the assistant referees, and the fourth official is Luis Arroyo. Brian Kaiser here with Charlie Giroux. And Charlie, this should be an outstanding matchup as we see a beautiful picture of the skyline.
Traditional rivalry and a lot of new things tonight, Brian, but one thing holds true, a beautiful place to play soccer. The field conditions tonight are terrific down on the pitch. The weather couldn't be any better. the sun setting to the west behind us. It's ideal. You know, Charleston is one of the most beautiful cities in the country, but they didn't have to say this is pretty good. And
looking forward to a great game here today as these two teams are now out there on the pitch ready to go. The Penn FC is out there right now with the white uniforms, all white, and for the Charleston Battery, they are in the black and white stripes with the black shorts. We are getting set to go as the whistle about to be blown by our center referee, Guido Gonzalez Jr. Penn FC just about start underway. Salim Mohammed is the guy who is set to put the ball into play. Two teams are ready to go, as you can see, and the energy, you can feel it right now. The Capital City crew is in full voice over the far side of the field. Checking everywhere. We are set to go here at FNB Field in Harrisburg, Pennsylvania. Glad you could join us this evening. Penn FC with it to start. They'll send it around the back in their 3-5-2 formation. Ball in the middle. That is Muhammad. Plays it out wide to Salvatore Barone. Back to Hawkins. Henry Hawkins, a deep ball down into the Charleston end. It's going to be played over the far sideline for a quick throw-in for Penn FC.
And Penn FC happy to be here on their home pitch. No question about that, Brian. Played exceptionally well here last year and looking for the opportunity to put some points on the board tonight.
Got a foul already on the far side as Barone got knocked to the turf. So we're going to have a restart coming up here. Coming from the far side of the field. A couple guys who are key guys this season for Penn FC not available tonight, not even as substitutes. You've got Dan Metzger, the New York Red Bulls veteran, and New York Red Bulls 2 won a championship with them a couple years ago. Also Tommy Heineman, who has the team's lone goal this season, also not available in tonight's game due to injury. Step in, here is a twisting ball right at Odesnell Cooper, and the keeper in red makes the save for the Battery. Cooper, an outstanding player, and has been a backstop for this team for many years now, his 6th year with the Battery, a veteran from Havana, Cuba.
Early foul there, Brian, and the opportunity to really see what Penn FC wants to do with these set pieces tonight. A little surprising there that he chose to take a shot so early.
Bolt had it down the side for Charleston. It was taken away by Penn FC. Knocked over the far sideline. Throw in for Penn FC. As we're underway here, we enter the 3rd minute of play. Interesting formation, new for this team here on the home pitch this season under head coach Raul Voss. A 3-5-2, 3 center backs, maybe showing a little bit of his German heritage, as that's a little bit more popular German formation sometimes, to see 3 strong, firm center backs in the back, and that's what Penn FC has in Henry Hawkins, Thiago Calvano, and Kenny Tribbett.
You'll see a lot of position interchange, though, coming forward, Brian, and I think that's going to be the key to the Penn FC side this year.
Skylar Thomas is an imposing force back there. They get around him, though, and here is Bond over on the near side. A shot, and it's wide. It'll be a goal kick coming up for the Battery after a nice little play out to the outside, freeing up Jake Bond, one of the 4 returning players from the Harrisburg City Islanders a year ago.
And it looks like Penn really wants to challenge this keeper early, Brian. They're going to take shots even when they may have other opportunities up front.
A booming goal kick from Cooper. Controlled initially by Penn FC. Menjivar takes a tumble on the turf. No call there, but Penn FC, as they have for most of the beginning 3.5 minutes of this contest, has the possession on their side of the pitch. Estaquio sends it to the far side. Now coming up is Hawkins, that left flank. M. Kasana, who returns to Harrisburg this year for Penn FC. We're going to have a foul, though, as Pedro Galval takes down in the middle. I believe that was Candela he brought down. Over on this near side, Neville Hackshaw, who missed the first game between these two teams. Hackshaw, a Trinidad and Tobago national. And he's a guy who was on national duty in that first game, a 22-year-old. And an offside call whistled against the Battery. So it'll be a restart coming up for Penn FC. Select is the official soccer ball of the USL. For the latest Select products and special offers, please visit www.selectsportamerica.com. Receive free shipping on orders over $50. Brian Kaiser along with Charlie Giroux with you tonight on a beautiful evening for soccer here in Pennsylvania's capital city of Harrisburg. We are in the 5th minute of play, and a foul called against Penn FC will give a restart in the offensive half of the field to the visiting Charleston Battery.
Weather conditions and field conditions could not be any better. This is an opportunity for both sides to really play at their optimum levels.
That's the captain, Taylor Mueller, who will take this. One left-footed bender into the box. Hawkins heads it away for Penn FC. Is there a chance here for a counterattack? M. Casana will think about it and now plays it back to Hawkins as the Battery get back and retreat quickly into their own half of the field. To the middle, Menjivar. Now to Hawkins, steps around one, down the flank to the left side is Barone. Tries to cross and deflected right back out of play for a throw-in by Timus.
Penn FC doing a pretty good job thus far, Brian, of creating space by pushing the ball as wide as they possibly can on both the attack and the counterattack. So they're spreading the field pretty well.
Barone loses it initially, and here comes the other way. A long ball, and Pizer out of his goal. Clears that ball out of danger. As you had a lot of speed up top, and the guy that we highlighted, Atula Guerra, is a guy who is going to constantly be a thorn in the side of any team who's chasing him.
Pizer, the new keeper, played a lot internationally, Brian, and speaks 4 different languages fluently.
I think a lot of people have trouble enough with one.
I wanted to make sure English was one.
It was, and he's a guy who's played so many different places, so much experience brought to this team. He and Tiago Calvano bring a ton of experience to this Penn FC side. We've got a foul called against Penn FC.
A no call in that first situation and a lot of squawk, but the second one they picked up.
Barone is going to be brought over and get an admonishing by the referee. And we will see if there is a card produced here by Guido Gonzalez Jr. He thinks better of it, but that will likely be the last warning for Salvatore Barone of Penn FC. Here's the restart. They're going to flick it towards net, and Pizer, after a good challenge right off the get-go, was made. I believe that was Gaval who was able to limit any damage there. Ball played down by Tribbett. Hackshaw brings it back. That is Anungwa. Ta Anunga. Another one of those players international, has 2 goals on the season for this team, the Cameroon national. Ball played back up into the Charleston half of the field, and a little bit of pressure's on tip from Mohammed to force Miller to kick that one out of play.
Penn FC has not been prolific in their scoring thus far this season, Brian, and tonight's a real opportunity for them. And they're pressing the attack pretty well thus far, spreading the field and obviously using the touch lines to their advantage.
Arguably in the first game between these two teams, Penn FC maybe slightly the better team in the first half of the game as far as possession and whatnot. In the second half, Charleston really settled into things on their home pitch. Here is Estapio trying to switch the point of attack to the far side of the field. That goes nowhere, and the ball played back the other way. Higashi was able to get it over to the back, and they're going to swing it back around here from far side to near side to Hackshaw. Hackshaw with not much pressure there as he crossed the midfield stripe. Chipped on nicely by Higashi. Hackshaw will get a cross into the box. Barone doesn't get a touch to it, goes over his head, but unaware of that is Jay Bolt, who is unable to keep it in play. It's a goal kick for Penn FC. Play fast play from the Pennsylvania Lottery. New games every month mean more ways to win. Players must be 18 or older. Please play responsibly. Benefits older Pennsylvanians every day.
Goal kick coming out here right now. Teams still kind of feeling each other out a little bit, but you're beginning to see the styles of play of both of these sides. Have to watch how this develops.
This will be the second and final meeting between these two teams on the season.
Getting them out of the way early.
Indeed, and this is a team that really Penn FC, the franchise itself, would like to get out of the way. Charleston in the matchup with both Penn FC this year and the former Harrisburg City Islanders, 16-5-1 overall. Last time that the franchise in this building won was back in July of 2014, and that's 8 straight victories for Charleston over a team out of central Pennsylvania.
Including a couple that were really frustrating losses for the Harrisburg side in those days, now the Penn FC team. I remember last year, one that came at the very, very last minute, and you have to remember those and feel those a little bit.
Penn FC dropping it all the way back from Calvano back to their keeper. And Pizer will swing it back here to the near side to Ken Tribbett, former Philadelphia Union player and also a player that has some experience here in Harrisburg. Menjivar loses the ball. Back the other way. Okonkwo over to Guerra. Looking for the on-rushing Jay Bolt. He can't get there in time and can't keep it in with some nice defense. Henry Hawkins has had a very strong start to this game here in the 11th minute for Penn FC.
He really has been a stalwart on that back line, and as you correctly pointed out, a different configuration than the Harrisburg, now Penn FC side is used to. Looks to be working so far.
Barone, after a good challenge, won by Mohammed in the middle. Now swinging it back over here to the near side. Here comes Tribbett with a little bit of a rush. Sends it up into the box, and Kasana was thinking about it, and it skips over top of the head of Mueller all the way back to Odesno Cooper. The veteran goalie will settle things down for the Battery. Battery on the season right now. They are 1-1-2. Or check that, 1-2-1, excuse me, as they have losses to FC Cincinnati to kick off the season. They beat Penn FC back on March 24th. And a loss 5-2 to the New York Red Bulls 2. And then in their last game, they were able to equalize on the road against Bethlehem Steel. For Penn FC, they're standing right now, still looking for their initial win of the season. They are 0-1-2 after that opening loss to the Battery. They were able to tie their next 2 games, a couple of nice draws on the road, one to a very dangerous Pittsburgh Riverhounds team who has yet to concede this season, a 0-0 draw in Pittsburgh, and then at a very talented Atlanta United 2 team. That was a 1-1 game where Penn FC got their first goal of the season. This is their first home game, though, of the year. An opportunity for them really to try to take advantage of what will be a scant home game in the early portion of the season because of the sharing of this field with the Harrisburg Senators of minor league baseball and the availability of it. This Penn FC team, 8 home games in their first 25. They will close September and October with 9 straight home games to end the season.
Tough way to start the season, but a good, strong way to finish it. And what goes on in between has been the difficulty for this Harrisburg/Penn FC side in the past couple of seasons. As you know, last year, Brian, a couple of really dry spells. If those can be avoided this season, this team's got a lot of promise.
Van Schaik sends it to Higashi. Now to Mueller. Checking all the way back is Anungwa. Thomas. Back to Mueller. They're keeping the ball away and trying to continue to draw Penn FC forward, which they are wont to do because they want to pressure the ball. So play in the back. We've got a dangerous play, a high boot from Hawkins as he was challenged by Bolt. So here will be the free kick opportunity coming up. They play it quickly and we'll send it back over to this near side as we are in the 14th minute of play of a scoreless game here in the USL's week number 6. between Penn FC and the Charleston Battery. Scrum of people inside, won by Menjivar of Penn FC. Bond looking at Mkasana. Stacquio. Now to Mkasana. Menjivar will switch it on back to Tribbett. Long ball over to the other side. Trying to move the defense around just a bit. Gaval chips it forward. Barone trying to keep it in play. And Coach Anhauser over there for Charleston making the call for the linesman.
Right, giving a little help. It's always nice to give a little assist to the officials.
So the official is going to say, no. Yeah, you're going back a little bit further, guys, before you throw this one in. So they will drop it on back there. Fans hear exclusive stories directly from the USL's players in USLsoccer.com's From the Pitch with written and video content that provides unfiltered access and a first-person look into the professional game and players' everyday lives. Just check that out today on the USL Soccer website. And former Harrisburg City Islander and now playing for Reno in this league, Antoine Hopino was one of the featured players, and I'm sure we'll have Penn FC players and Charleston Battery players featured in the upcoming weeks.
A lot of exciting things going on around the USL, Brian. The largest league in the country and real opportunities for fans in the coming days. So think about going out to your home park and watching your team play.
Great opportunity here. Mkasana heads it back. Menjivar now goes to Bond. 1v1 over in the corner. Nutmegs a man trying to get to the byline. Does not get there, but it will win a corner kick. That's all that Charleston was able to do there. So a nice move by Bond, the jack of all trades. Guy who can play defense for you, has played striker for this team in the past. Native of St. Louis, Missouri. And here comes the corner kick. In-swinger is coming up for Penn FC. They have four guys on the backside and Havano in the front. Gaval looking back post. Mkasana does not get there in time, and it is headed back over the far sideline for a throw-in.
Looked for the back post and pretty good delivery, but nothing there.
Van Schaik is the guy who was able to head that one out of danger. So back to the other side. Gaval gets the ball back from Barone. Now Mkasana too late to get that one. Estacquia tries to play it back and finally does after the deflection. Calvano will play it right back down the left side. Can they keep it in? They do not. 17th minute, no score. Penn FC and Charleston. We'll see if the intention here from Charleston. They're going to try to get this one up as far as they possibly can to relieve a little bit of the pressure. Penn FC able to win the ball quickly, though. Tribbett over here to Bond. Back to Tribbett. Sends it to Hawkins on the left side. He's got a little bit of room over there, so he's going to carry into the front. Into the attacking third they go. Barone down that left side. Cuts it back to the right foot, and now back to Hawkins. Hawkins thinks, now goes back down to Barone. Still on side. Will cross, looking backside. Opportunity. Muhammad was creeping there. Hackshaw clears it. Ball sent and chipped back into the neutral third. Tribbett. That's a good ball down. Bond will force a save from Cooper.
And that really was a nice ball, Brian. Well played.
I think he wanted to cross that one, got a little bit too much on it, but sometimes those can be the most dangerous type of play. He remains scoreless. 50-50 won by Tribbett in the middle of the field. Menjivar will come down with it for Penn FC as they continue to have the bulk of the possession in this one so far. Tribbett doesn't want to go back to his keeper in that situation with Higashi waiting on the doorstep. Trying to turn, and it is Van Schaik who gets there first for Charleston. Anunga. Hackshaw will swing it back the other way and relieve some pressure. All the way back to Mueller, the captain of this team for the second straight year for Charleston. Outstanding year a season ago for him.
Penn FC looks to be winning the majority of these head balls as well, Brian. So they're very aggressive in their play tonight, and that's important early in this game.
Here comes Guerra. Atula Guerra over on the right side. Now that's Bolt with a shot punched away from Pizer. Back to the neutral third. Menjivar goes down low to get it, stays on the ground. It's going to be won by Anunga of Charleston.
That had some trouble written on it, and Pizer effectively punching it out.
That's that experience, knowing at that time that don't have to catch that one. Smart thing there is to just relieve it by punching it away. We're going to have an offside called against Charleston, as somebody came from an offside position on that one. So the restart coming up for Penn FC. The USL's official Twitter feed keeps you up to date with news, live game updates, and highlights from around the league 24/7. Follow at USL on Twitter. 50-50 ball again. Bond got the better of it from Van Schaik, and it had to be cleared away over the near sideline by Charleston. You're 100% correct, though. That is aerial battles right now between these two teams. Charlie, going all the way of Penn FC.
They really are, and they're playing very aggressively, and this is what you want to see. This is the style of play that they bring to the match, and they are winning most of those challenges.
Menjivar, Estaquio, now over to Hawkins. This is where they've had a little bit more success coming down this left flank. Barone, a little bit more pressure this time put on them defensively by the Battery. Hawkins went down, nothing called, and the Battery with the quick throw the other way. Intelligent move there, trying to get that thing going the other way before Penn FC was ready, but they couldn't do anything with it. And here comes Penn FC on the attack. Over to Bond on the right side. He'll try to send in the middle of the field, but directly had a player there. That was Vincenzo Candela for the Battery. Ball played off of Menjivar, out of play for the Battery. Again, a quick restart on the throw. Guerra, they'll switch the point of attack over to the far side. Bolt drops back to Thomas. Muhammad gets there first and forces a throw. 22nd minute of play, no score. Penn FC and Charleston here in USL soccer action. Both teams coming off a bye week a week ago, so both teams expect to be fresh. Here's an opportunity for Charleston the other way. A shot that's a little bit too high. It's going to go over the crossbar, but a bullet dodge there and completely against the run of play, Charlie.
Completely. I mean, this we're going to see it again here. You watch this.
Nice flick from Higashi. And that's what Guerra does. Guerra's there and just misses, getting his fourth goal in as many games against Penn FC.
Very fortunate. I mean, Pizer coming out in some respects out of position there, and a flick over his head. It's a goal opportunity.
So the goal kick, and deep sigh of relief from the fans here at FNB Field for that one. Hawkins will play it long. Now on the left side. This is Gaval. Hawked by Thomas in the corner. Mkasana loses it to Mueller, and the captain able to send it down the field, but no one home as Okonkwo could not come up with it. Quickly a long ball played to the opposite side. Here comes to the near corner. Muhammad trying to chase down Hackshaw. Hackshaw plays it up the sideline. That will stay in play. Here's a chance now. Van Schaik on a full run. Plays it to the middle. Drop back. Anungwa swings it over to Thomas on the far side. Penn FC gets back well defensively that time, and nothing available for the Battery. They'll pull it back out.
They really did get back very, very quickly. It looked like they were going to build the attack very, very, very fast there, and they weren't given the opportunity because Penn FC got back and established their defense right on time.
Higashi, the Japanese national, in his second year with the Battery, was newcomer of the year for this team a year ago. In 2017, 7 assists, was second on the team in his 23 starts a year ago. Gets another start here tonight. Taylor Mueller now with it. Playing a little keep away right now to try to force Penn FC to expend energy defensively. Now a long ball. The aforementioned Higashi, not a lot of size back there, trying to play 5'6" against on an aerial ball against 6'2" Kenny Tribbett. All played inside. Okonkwo Trying to make the turn on Calvano. Back to Van Schaik. Candela. Cross-field pass. Here's Bolt. Bolt, left-footed inside. Touchdown. Too much congestion, and Penn FC able to clear it. A little bit of a run here comes Mauro Estaquio. They lose that on a deflection. Higashi goes down, and they're going to call the foul.
A little bit of a momentum shift here, Brian. We saw Penn FC really pressing the attack early on, spreading the field wide, creating a lot of space, some early opportunities, though not much came of them. But now you see Charleston really picking up the attack, bringing people forward, and pressing it.
Hackshaw plays it into the box. Tribbett heads it right back to him, but this time under pressure from Lucky and Kasana will allow Penn FC to win a throw-in on this near side. Great to have Lucky M. Kasana back in Harrisburg. Here's a guy, one of the more popular players. I can say my youngest son was his favorite player when he was here in his first stint with Harrisburg back 2012, 2013, where he had 20 goals in his 41 appearances, still looking for his first marker of this season. And in the interim, in the last 3 years, he was with the New York Cosmos in the NASL, where he scored 11 goals for them. The thing that you wouldn't know about Lucky M. Kasana, besides the fact he's from Zimbabwe, 30 years old, but he's a Dartmouth grad. He's an Ivy Leaguer.
Smart guy. And, you know, a veteran player, fan favorite. A lot of folks, your son included, very happy to see him back on the pitch here at FNB Field.
Charleston with it right now. Guerra gives it away. Miscommunication with Van Schaik allows Penn FC to have the possession in the middle of the field. Here comes Muhammad with a little bit of a run. Good solid tackle that time from the battery. In the middle of the field now, Okonkwo, Higashi. Now to Bolt on the right. Working against Barone, plays to the inside, a little give and go. Pass inside, shot, and Piser's able to make a tremendous save.
Unbelievable save. Saved it with his knees the way it looked like. Looked like he took the ball between his legs.
Okonkwo, you'll see him on the doorstep as some great passing back and forth. Here's the cross from Bolt coming in right here. The slide, and Piser somehow with the nimbleness.
With his legs, going the opposite direction. Made the dive to the right side of the box. Saved it with his legs.
Amazing stuff, and we've seen that all season so far. It's been a small sample size right now, but Ramu Piser has been an absolute stud for this Penn FC team between the pipes. Keeps this one scoreless here in the 27th minute.
Two serious scoring opportunities for the Charleston side thus far, both of them shut down by Penn FC.
And now Charleston has the upper hand on things right now, momentum-wise, as you said, and this is a good time for Penn FC to take the air out of the ball, which they do just a touch. There's Calvano, Thiago Calvano. Experienced player, was here a year ago with the Harrisburg City Islander team before the rebranding, where he was the captain of that team.
And unfortunately, that ball doesn't accomplish anything. I mean, that's the situation that has kind of dogged this Penn FC side historically, and those are the times when, as you suggested very correctly, Brian, they've really got to shift the momentum, control the possess the ball a little bit, and create scoring opportunities.
Pass over the right side. Skylar Thomas hasn't touched it for a while for Charleston. Now plays a dangerous ball forward. Okonkwo bested by Calvano, but this time it is Bolt. Once again, dangerous on that right side. Plays it dangerously to the middle, and Tribbett is there to chip it back out to the neutral third. Can Penn FC respond here? Give away there from M. Kasana. And the battery again will look to press the attack. Hackshaw crosses the midfield stripe with a pass. Guerra dispossessed. Here's Tribbett. Finds Muhammad, but nobody else there. And he will take a seat on the turf, courtesy of Anungwa, and will allow Penn FC to slow things down and push numbers forward. Play the fast play games from the Pennsylvania Lottery. Players must be 18 or older. Please play responsibly.
And pushing those players forward, building a little bit of an attack, creating some space now is really critical for this Penn FC side. The possession for the last 10 minutes, Brian, has been all the other way.
29th minute, battery get it back. Here's Anungwa. Over to Bolt. With those bright fluorescent orange cleats. Very difficult to miss him, although they've missed marking him the last couple times he's had a chance to rush.
The wrong guys have been missing him. That's
Guerra. Check that, it was Anunga. That ball is sent over the far sideline for a throw-in. Want to get exclusive video content and photography from across the USL? Make sure to follow the league's official Instagram account at USL Soccer. And I'll tell you what, Charlie, the USL has done a tremendous job of really getting out there social media-wise. They are everywhere right now. The presence is amazing.
They really are ubiquitous in their presence. How's that for a word to know?
It's one that I can't handle right now. We're going to have a foul called against Penn FC. The restart coming up for the Charleston Battery.
And we've run 30 minutes in this contest. Thus far, scoreless. And the Charleston side continuing to press the attack here. Harrisburg, Penn FC looking to, as you say, bring the ball forward, take some time, slow things down a little bit.
M. Kasana finds Mohammed. Swinging it back the other way, Estaquio. It's Menjivar. Over there, Barone will chip it into the box. M. Kasana trying to run it down, but the first one to it is Jared Van Schaik, and the veteran sends it up the field. Estaquio will drop it back for Hawkins. Back into the Charleston half of the field. He'll continue his run forward, but Barone can't find him and has to pull it back out. Estaquio will step into Hawkins' left back role until they can readjust. Now the play down the right side of the Penn FC offense. Searching ball for Mohammed, headed away by Thomas of the Battery. Menjivar can't keep possession. Here's another aerial battle, and again, won, as so many of them have been here in this first half, by Penn FC and Tiago Calvano. Hawkins to Menjivar. Looks to open. Falls down. And here comes the Battery. A little bit of a rush, and instead it's deflected the other way. They try to split down the middle with M. Kasana. Chip back out. Mohammed will drive and will be blocked inside and cleared by the Battery up to midfield. And knocked down by Okonkwo. And Patrick Okonkwo is a guy who, the last time these two teams played, back in March 24th, that 1-0 victory, a late red card to make the things a little bit difficult for Charleston to close out. M. Kasana was able to get to that head ball, but was not expecting it to get by Hackshaw and was unable to put that one towards frame. Here comes Higashi the other way for the Battery. Guerra's in the middle of the field now to Anungwa. Back to Guerra. He'll take the air out of the ball just a touch here.
Yeah, and the counterattack here for Charleston has featured some pretty long runs, Brian, and that's something that Harrisburg's going to have to look at in the midfield, tackling and marking up a little bit better.
Speed of Hackshaw, and our center referee says that tackle was just fine that time from Pedro Gaval of Penn FC. Hawkins into the neutral 30 goes. Mauro Estaquio, first year with this Penn FC franchise. Estaquio is a guy who dual citizenship, Canadian and Portugal. He's played both places. He was with the Ottawa Fury for 3 years before last year playing with the NASL's FC Edmonton. Just 25 years old and his 4th straight start for Penn FC tonight. We're here at the 33rd minute of play. It is 0-0. Visit the USL's Instagram story every Monday evening to watch Kelsey Steele's hat trick as she breaks down 3 key talking points from the previous week's action. Battery win possession. They've got in the middle of the field. That is Candela. And coming back, Higashi drops it. Here's Thomas in the back. And once again, Charleston will try to get Penn FC to chase. Hackshaw lifts it forward to the foot of Guerra on the left side of the box. Working 1v1, cuts inside. Tribbett can't get all of that one. It's going to be a goal kick as it was not deflected at all. He just scuffed it.
He wanted to come near side, thought there was some shooting room there, and way near side.
So another missed opportunity there for the Battery, who have had the better of the play really in the last 10 minutes here at FNB Field. Ryan Kaiser along with Charlie Giroux. Thanks for joining us today. Jessica Crossan's with us down on the field. She will be handling our interview duties coming up at halftime. Ball comes harmlessly initially into the Charleston end of the field, but now Penn FC with it. Estacquio triple team, loses possession. Counterattack coming for the Battery. Higashi, Anunga, over to Thomas, who's got a lot of room. But right back comes down, chipped, deflected, and now a lot of room over on this side. Van Schaik, he's got an opportunity to cross. The back foot of Tribbett keeps it from going in. Van Schaik back out with it, 20 yards out from goal. Guerra with the left foot, looking Van Schaik, chips to the inside, deflected away in a great defensive play from Mauro Estacquio. Here comes Penn FC. Mkasana gets the long ball from Mohammed, holds it up for a moment, now over to the left side. Here's Barone, cutting inside Bolt, but there's extra defense there from Anunga.
Didn't bring their people forward as fast as they needed to there, Brian. You notice the defenders all back. The Penn FC side simply not able to mount the attack they wanted.
That may have been also because Estacquio, who usually is manning that center of the field, he was the last line of defense last time.
The last defender.
And now Thiago Calvano, this very well may be a card as he was beaten as he stepped forward on this one. And
it's looking that way. I see a reach into the pocket.
That one seemed pretty easy that time. Calvano stepping forward to try to slow down Guerra, and that was a little bit more of, I think, a professional foul also, because he knew that if he's beat in the middle of the field, there's going to be a hole back there, and there might be a problem.
In basketball, you'd say that's a good foul to take.
Soccer, it's tougher because the card now puts him at risk later on as we see the replay, and it's very late on that one for the veteran Brazilian center back.
And it's important what you said, Brian, because these cards don't seem that much at the time, but they do have a cumulative effect, and they do put particular players at risk.
Here comes the free kick opportunity. Chipped into the box, far post, headed back towards Pizer, and he'll make an easy save as Skylar Thomas, who scored a goal in the last game for the Battery against Bethlehem Steel, his first of his career here with Charleston.
I'm pretty sure, you can correct me on the rules, but I'm pretty sure in this league that you not only sit out the rest of the game on a second card, but you sit out the next match. Is that correct?
Yes. Red card does carry over, and it is a suspension for the next match unless you are successful in winning an appeal, which very rarely seldom happens. Menjivar looking, finds Barone. Everybody for Penn FC right now, save the keeper, is now on the offensive half of the field. Calvano chips in the middle. Mkasana cannot get a hard touch to it, and the bicycle kick out of there by Anunga of Charleston. Here comes Hawkins. He gets taken down. Nothing called there, as they're going to say a bit of an embellishment that time by the Penn FC left back. He'll get the ball back, though, now as he comes back to his side of the field. Estacquio, who had filled in for him, drops it back to Pizer.
Well, the official's closer to the play than we are, Brian, but that didn't look like that big of an embellishment to me.
I don't know that we have a replay good enough to worry about. And Hawkins got right up after it, so he's not going to worry about it. And here comes Penn FC in this scoreless match here in the 38th minute. Higashi dispossesses him man on the ball. Hackshaw loses it. Here comes Mkasana. Working 1v2 on the inside, looks for Mohammed and cannot keep the possession. Battery lose it and played over here to the near sideline.
You just wonder in a situation like that why he isn't pushing it to the corner, because they've been trying to use the touch lines. There was a lot of space down here in the near corner. Went to the middle instead.
Agree with you, Charlie. They were having success on that left flank especially, and Bond has had a couple forays as well into the offensive half on those.
You're right. Clearly that left side has been open opportunity for them, but here on the near side it's been a couple good chances for Bond.
Play fast to win instantly with fast play from the Pennsylvania Lottery. With new games every month, there are so many ways to win. Players must be 18 or older. Please play responsibly. Benefits older Pennsylvanians every day. We've got a card there on a hard foul by Ta Anunga. And that is not a comfortable one there, as the Cameroonian national is shown the yellow. And for Penn FC the other way, We're going to see the replay of this one as the ball comes up to Menjivar, and that just from behind.
And that hurts.
Remember, a lot of opportunities to, when somebody clips you from behind, that is not where you've got any protection. You can see some of these guys, you can see the shin guards through, but there are no shin guards in the back on the thighs. This quick stoppage gives us a chance to remind everyone which teams are hitting peak performance in the USL. Find out every Monday afternoon when the USLsoccer.com power rankings are released to see where your team sits after its most recent results. Currently, these two teams sitting on the outside looking in of the playoff hunt in the Eastern Conference, but it is a very early moment in the season. Just in week 6, and we've got all the way to go until the middle of October before the regular season ends.
And into minute 40 here in the first half, and still 0-0.
Penn FC with it. Tribbett, a little bit of pressure there for the Battery, force him to go all the way back to his keeper, and Pizer will swing it back to the other side. They're going to force the Battery to chase a little bit. Now Penn FC brings it up across midfield. Long ball, well played to Gaval. And Kasana did not read the run, and it's able to be cleared out by Mueller. Guerra goes to the middle of the field. It's Candela, and knocked down is Higashi and fouled by Estaquio. So it's going to be a restart coming up for the Battery as we tick closer and closer to halftime. Many times in games like this where there's been a lot of running and tracking by both teams, will somebody let down at the end of this first half and allow that concentration lapse to allow the first goal of the game? Comes a throw in on the far side by Charleston. Bolt looking, has nobody available. Has to go all the way back to Thomas at the midfield stripe, and he'll bring it back to his keeper, who Cooper's been very, very silent for quite some time. That's not good for Penn FC, but it is good for Charleston. But they want to make sure that he gets a touch to remember what it's like to touch the ball.
You're correct. Not a lot of offensive threats by Penn FC thus far, but they've held the other side at bay as well. So we're still at 0-0. And you're right, Brian. This is the point in the match that's a little bit of a danger zone. You're going to have a relatively short period of extra time, so there's sometimes a little bit of a mental letdown at this point, and that's where danger rises.
Hawkins swings it over. That's Barone, who will play it all the way back to Calvano. His first touch is true. He's able to keep it in his possession, and now they'll play it all the way back to Pizer, who goes down to one knee to make sure. Hawkins will send it down. Mohammed. We're going to have a handball called against Penn FC. Fans, ESPN Plus is the new streaming home of the USL in the United States. Watch all the action throughout the 2018 regular season and USL Cup playoffs starting on Saturday, April 14th. Visit USLsoccer.com for more details. That's a great coup for the league.
Really is.
Getting ESPN Plus to be part of that. Right now, I believe this is the final day of the free subscription to get out there now, and the first 30 days free if you get out there. I believe today's the last day of that.
Take advantage, fans. A great opportunity, and as Brian said, this is a really cool thing for the league to have the ESPN partnership. If
I'm wrong about that, I apologize. It is a nominal fee that I know I will be purchasing as the season goes on. There's one thing with how this league has been. You need to see your USL soccer week in and week out. There's a lot of great soccer all over the place, as Menjivar talked to after a foul. They're also going to bring Mueller in as well to discuss. It will be the Battery after that foul who will restart.
Yeah, you really don't want to miss. The USL continues to grow both in terms of the quality of play on the field and the excitement of its fan base.
Hackshaw goes to Mueller. Long ball down to the right side. Bolt running for it. Gets there first. Here he comes into the box where he's been dangerous. Cuts it all the way back. Guerra around two men with a spin move. Cross right back in by the Battery. Higashi drops it back. Chipped, and that will go nowhere. except for over the inline for a goal kick for Penn FC. Fortunately enough, because that looked dangerous, the initial ball down the Bolt was the one that started everything, Charlie.
Brian, you hit the nail on the head, my friend. That had danger written all over it. And Penn FC has done well defending against these really, really tricky situations thus far, but you don't want to see too many of those.
Beginning of the first half was Penn FC having the better of the play, but not many scoring opportunities. The second part of this first half, it's been the Battery who have not only had the better of the play, but have been dangerous as well. Penn FC fortunate right now to be 0-0, but here is Okonkwo. Leaves the ball behind him as we approach stoppage time.
Overran it. That's really, because that looked like, again, was a very dangerous situation developing. Overran it, and we're coming down close to stoppage time here.
Higashi's down behind the play, but Penn FC continues. Gaval looked for Mkasana, nothing there. And now here's Van Schaik to try to clear the pressure. Hackshaw, who's already in a more forward position for the left back. Here comes Anunga, and it's Calvano with the sliding tackle to play it over the near sideline. Time not to waste here for the Battery, though. Anunga trying to get it back from Guerra, and it's Bond who clears it up near midfield. There will be no stoppage time at all at the end of this first half. And our score at the half, it is Penn FC 0, the Charleston Battery 0 in the inaugural home game for the Penn FC rebranding of this franchise. And really, Charlie, in this first half, Penn FC, the early going was good, but they really have some things to shore up and talk about at halftime.
They really do, and they're going to have to talk about how they can mount a consistent attack, and when they have players coming forward to create real opportunities. They frankly didn't take advantage of a couple situations there where they could have had real opportunities. I'm not sure that they even had a shot on frame, did they?
We will find out, because that's coming up at halftime with our halftime statistics. We will take a look at those. Our Jessica Crossan is efforting to get Raul Voss, the Penn FC head coach, down on the field. Let's throw down to her right now as she is getting set to talk to Raul Voss down on the field.
Hey guys, I'm here with head coach Raul Voss as Penn FC heads into the half tied at 0-0. Coach, what are your thoughts on the first half?
Not 100% happy with too much gaps, too many spaces, too many easy giveaways, avoidable turnovers.
All right, are you thinking about making any changes here?
I am not 100% sure yet, but I am. Soon there will be changes, maybe not right away in halftime, but there will be changes coming.
All right, thank you, Coach. Good luck. Back to you guys.
Thank you, Jessica. And obviously, Coach Voss not happy right now with the effort in the first half and what he got to see. They'll make adjustments, and they will talk about it at halftime, but we'll get a chance to talk to you about some other things going on. We'll have stats, we'll have scores, and we'll have a lot more coming up here at halftime as we take it to the break. Here, this is USL Soccer.
All across Pennsylvania, families are living their lives in their own homes. Not long ago, none of these families believed it possible. And then they discovered there was someone who could help. What was once only a dream is now a reality. Welcome home.
Did you know all electronics must be recycled? It's the law. But more importantly, it's the right thing to do.
At the Recycling Center, Dauphin County residents can recycle older broken TVs, computers, cell phones, laptops, major appliances, even paper.
The Recycling Center is conveniently located on Cameron Street in Harrisburg. It makes recycling fast, safe, and simple.
Stop by the Dauphin County Recycling Center today and help us recycle the right way.
From Times Square to your local community, from local sports to international conventions, Invika has changed the broadcast and video landscape, bringing professional quality and service to organizations across the globe. Through professional, college level, and local sports, festivals, competitions, parades, and telethons, conferences, and commercials, Invika is bringing the power of video to more people and markets than ever before. Have a project you need covered? Check out our website for more information. Invika, providing affordable HD video solutions.
And welcome back to FNB Field here in Harrisburg, Pennsylvania. Brian Kaiser along with Charlie Giroux with you. At halftime, it is Penn FC 0, Charleston Battery 0. It's been a first half where there may not have been any excitement, but there's a lot of excitement right now behind this Penn FC team. Let's take a look right now at what's all the excitement's about. Well, we had some technical difficulties.
We are the
there.
excitement, Brian.
Right now it has to be because basically, I mean, this Penn FC team, the rebranding, very excited about how this is going to go this season for this team. They've had all sorts of events already to really let the community know exactly, it's a different feel. It's a different team. It's a different vibe.
It's a lot of new players, a new coach, a new look, a new feel, a new name. Opportunities for fans to still take advantage of season ticket opportunities. Some great seats right down on the field this year. You and I were looking at them pre-game. I'd love to sit in one of those. So there's really, a new excitement here at Penn FC. Great opportunity for fans to be a part of this and to experience the USL in this season.
Lots of stuff going on here at halftime with the different things that are going on with the different games and things, and on the field, and you've got Capital City Crew, who's always very active in the different things that are going on with Penn FC. They've got a lot of interesting ideas, different things they want to try, different things they want to do, and I just love the direction they're going. Now, the only thing that has to go along with this, Charlie, is
a few W's.
A few W's, and the nice thing about soccer, though, it's 0-0 right now at the half, and with it being 0-0 at the half, it's definitely one goal away from being wonderful once again. So
it really is, and that's what you look for. You walk out of the off the pitch at halftime a little disappointed in some of the play in the first half, but it's a brand new game when you come back out in the second half, and a new opportunity, as you say. This is a game where a match where one goal may well be the decider.
Hey, let's check in right now, Charlie, with the USL. Here is the Breakdown.
Welcome to the 4th episode of the Breakdown. Once again, I've handpicked my plays of the week, and I hope you guys enjoy it.
Ball sent in. Cross the way, team save, keeps it 1-0.
This clip is both attacking and defensive. You see on the Orange County counter-attack here, he does extremely well to carry his run forward, and he gives the defense of San Antonio a lot of problems. And then if you flip it now and you look at his recovery run, it's fantastic. He tracks the immediate run of the attacker, and then he follows it through and continues to back up his keeper on the line. And it's a fantastic goal line clearance, and it keeps them in the game after 60 minutes.
Out. Back to Sari. Chip toward the back post. Felix Chaykum, and an early goal for S2.
The reason I've picked this clip is not just the finish and the header, but also if you watch Sari's assist. He backs up his winger here, and he creates himself an extremely good angle to give that cross. And technically, it's an extremely tough pass to make. When the ball's coming at you and you've got to give a 90-degree angle on it and cross it at the back post, it's extremely difficult because you have to think about all sorts at that stage. You have to think about the keeper coming to catch it, but then also giving the loft to get it over the defender and down. And it's a fantastic assist, and that's the reason it's in my play of the week.
For O-line, Von Williams. Stepped up, his number was called. Look at this, perfectly timed. It's Suni Saad. Saad lines him up.
Suni Saad's goal for Indy 11, for me, was created purely by Iosi's pass here. When the ball's played into Iosi, he takes a couple steps back, and that gives him the opportunity to get his head up and see Saad's movement. And it's a fantastic driven pass over the defence, and it's a fantastic finish into the corner with good disguise.
Needs to
flexibility in terms of and paying so that players from the Caribbean, players from South America.
This clip is one of my favorite ones. The athletic trainer for St. Louis, is just so casual with it. I mean, he takes it out the air one-handed as if he's not done anything about it. And you know, he's caught it and throw back, just dead casual. And I think he's amazed every single player on the bench, including all his players. So as you can see from the breakdown this week, it's not just players that get on, it's also athletic trainers. So keep that in mind for future games. I hope you've enjoyed my hand-picked plays from the week on the 4th episode of The Breakdown. I look forward to seeing you next week.
And welcome back here to our broadcast position high atop FNB Field. Brian Kaiser along with Charlie Giroux, and 0-0 score at the half between Penn FC and the Charleston Battery. And we're about to take a look at something that well, it was very reminiscent of Game 1 between these two teams. The halftime stats are we didn't see much either way. You've got a shot for Penn FC, a shot for Charleston, each goalie credited with 1 save, 2 corner kicks either way, and possession. That doesn't add up to 100%.
We're a little short there.
The number I have over here is 51.4% to Charleston and 48.6% to Penn FC in the first half. But what we've seen so far, Charlie, in this first half are two teams that, even though they played earlier this year, a few weeks ago, it's still a feeling out process, trying to figure out how to attack each other, and neither team able to find a way to put it past the opposing keeper.
It's both feeling out each other, but on the Penn FC side, Brian, I get the very real sense that they're still trying to figure out how each other works one with the other. That chemistry that's so important to any winning side hasn't quite developed yet. It's still gelling. I think you heard that from Coach at halftime.
Not having Tommy Heineman, not having Dan Metzger, 2 big pieces of the puzzle that you're looking for, and we have not had that opportunity in this game. Hey, folks, get your season tickets now. Penn FC has a total of 17 home games this year. This would be one of them. That means there's 16 left to go. That's some good math. Single match tickets available, group tickets, season tickets, and also premium season tickets. It's a great deal. www.pennfc.com for more information.
And no matter which season ticket package you're picking up, Brian, you're getting a terrific bargain. You look at it on the pitch now and you see all these kids out there doing various and sundry things. It's a great family experience. It's terrific soccer, and it's always an entertaining evening.
Well, we're going to check out for a quick break. When we come back, we'll take a look at the first half highlights, take a look at the schedules for these two teams coming up, and maybe take a look at some scores as well around the USL. That's coming up after this break. This is USL Soccer.
All across Pennsylvania, families are living their lives in their own homes. Not long ago, none of these families believed it possible. And then they discovered there was someone who could help. What was once only a dream is now a reality. Welcome home.
Did you know all electronics must be recycled? It's the law. But more importantly, it's the right thing to do.
At the Recycling Center, Dauphin County residents can recycle older broken TVs, computers, cell phones, laptops, major appliances, even paper.
The Recycling Center is conveniently located on Cameron Street in Harrisburg. It makes recycling fast, safe, and simple.
Stop by the Dauphin County Recycling Center today and help us recycle the right way.
From Times Square to your local community, from local sports to international conventions, Invika has changed the broadcast and video landscape, bringing professional quality and service to organizations across the globe. Through professional, college level, and local sports, festivals, competitions, parades, and telethons, conferences, and commercials, Invika is bringing the power of video to more people and markets than ever before. Have a project you need covered? Check out our website for more information. Invika, providing affordable HD video solutions.
Scoreless first half here at FNB Field with Penn FC and the Charleston Battery knotted at 0-0. And it was pomp and circumstance that led to the first opportunity then here for Penn FC. And this was pretty much one of the best opportunities of the first half. Early on, the ball curled right at the keeper, Odisno Cooper. Then Jake Bond. This was probably the best chance as far as openings were concerned, but Charleston had other ideas. Ball sent inside, and as that first half continued to go on, there were chances, but really no shots for Penn FC. Bond with the closest thing to one, a missed cross, and then all of a sudden, here comes the Battery starting to attack.
Yeah, and unfortunately, those really were the only real threats that Penn FC made in the first half. Here's a great one for Charleston.
Guerra just missing the chip over the keeper. And Jay Bolt has been a thorn in the side, especially the last 20 minutes of that first half. Here's a good 1-2 play across in front, and I have no idea how Ramu Pizer made the save on that one with his legs, but he didn't, kept it scoreless. And here's another chance in the boxes. It was at that point all Battery, but Penn FC holds on. We're scoreless right now. Coming up for the Battery, their next home game will be Tuesday, April 28th at Coolray Field as they end their road swing at Atlanta United 2. Tickets there at charlestonbattery.com is where you go. They will be back home next Saturday against the Tampa Bay Rowdies. For Penn FC, on the other hand, Penn FC's next home match will be this Tuesday. We'll be right back here, Charlie, at 6:30 at FNB Field as the Nashville SC comes into town. PennFC.com, or as you can see there, 717-441-4625 is the phone number for that one. After that game, Penn FC goes on the road next Saturday at North Carolina FC, and then they come back the week after that for two more, Friday against the Tampa Bay Rowdies, and then the following Monday against the Ottawa Fury. So 4 home games in 5 games for Penn FC, an opportunity to make some noise.
Lots of opportunities coming up. Great action here at FNB Field. A real opportunity for fans. You know, I was just thinking that tremendous save there by Pizer may go down on the season highlight reel. I mean, that really is point-blank range, everything looking like it's a goal scored for Charleston. He makes the save, and that really is the game at this point.
That's why you bring a guy like that in, and the veteran we highlighted before the game for Penn FC, the French national who brought a lot of experience in, and people had talked the last few years, about the keepers that they've brought in, and a year ago they brought in Brandon Miller, and before that Nick Noble had some good years, and then all of a sudden his play fell off just a little bit towards the end there. So all of a sudden you bring in a guy, and the last thing you're expecting is, hey, here's a 38-year-old coming in to man the goal, and all of a sudden everything seems just fine back there.
It does. That back line so vital, obviously, and the keeper, when he can show the leadership that Pizer shows. I mean, he just exudes confidence, and I think puts a lot of confidence in his fellow defenders, and that has a spillover effect to the rest of the squad. So I think it's a very, very important pickup for Penn FC.
Paris Saint-Germain's youth system is where he cut his teeth. So we are getting set to start here in the second half. We'll see if there are any changes at all here to start off half number 2. Don't believe there are any changes at all. So these two teams return to the pitch. Still knotted 0-0. All important victory at stake here in the USL in week number 6. For Penn FC, looking for their first win of the year. For Charleston, looking for their second against this Penn FC team. Their second overall and their 9th straight in the series between the franchise Penn FC / Harrisburg City Islanders. We are underway here in the second half. The ball played all the way back to Ramu Pizer.
Resplendent in those lime green threads.
I love the look. I really do.
It's a great look.
Hey, the unis this year, the entire kit, both home and away, for this Penn FC team is sharp.
Yeah, they look good.
Now, if they can only match that on the field with a performance here in the second half, the home fans will be happy as Hackshaw drives the ball back out. Estacquio at the midfield area. Sends it over on the right side, now over to Bond. Back to Estacquio, looking for Galvao. He will come back to possess the ball. Menjivar swings over to the left side. Here they come. That ball is sent into the box, and that is a change for Penn FC. Is into the game now here on this left wing is Prince Bafo, the midfielder out of Ghana, who was signed this week for this team. So he is into the game. We'll check on any of these substitutions. We had a collision back behind the play. We've got a couple of guys down for
that was
one
really
each team.
Good delivery there, Brian. The service into the box on that last time down is something we hadn't been seeing in the first half. So maybe that substitution will make a real change.
Estacquio is the injured player for Penn FC. Is that Guerra?
Yeah, those were two heads colliding, I think, and that is always painful.
That is Guerra. He is the Harrisburg Slayer in many ways over the last few years. Again, 3 straight games for him with goals against either Harrisburg City Islanders or Penn FC. He had the lone goal in the 62nd minute of the first meeting between these two teams. Believe it is Barone who made way for Penn FC for Prince Bafo. So that is the substitution at the half, the only one so far of the allotted ones for Coach Raul Voss. Both players return to the pitch as they seem like they're just fine. And Hawkins will play the ball up the field, but chips it out of play without much pressure as he looks for Muhammad. With a throw-in coming up for Charleston. Battery 10 straight seasons, having made the playoffs in the USL. Right now on the outside looking in, but it's so early in the season. Plenty of time for everybody to gel as the year goes on. All sent back down into the Penn FC zone. Played over to the sideline, but kept in play. Here's Menjivar, who cuts it back to the inside. Ball searching, but Cooper is the only guy at the end of it, and he's wearing red for the opposing team's keeping. So the goalie picks it up, and we'll send that back out of here. The USL's official Twitter feed keeps you up to date with news, live game updates, and highlights from around the league 24/7. Follow at USL on Twitter. Ball in the air. We saw in the first half, that's not a place that Charleston should go a lot of times, as Penn FC had the better of that action. Bolt, though, now with it for the Battery. Double teamed. It will last touch Muhammad. Correct call there. And Bolt will quickly look to play it forward. Ball sent in. And right back out by Hawkins. Bafo through a double team. The Ghanaian national comes to the near side with it. And ball played all the way back. Calvano has to play it back to his keeper. Pies are under a little bit of pressure from Okonkwo. Send it up the midfield, and this is a place where all of a sudden you have a much better matchup. Bafo does not bring a lot of height over there to that near side. Bafo, a little bit about the new Penn FC player. According to GhanaSoccerNet.com, I went deep into the archives for this one. He's known for scoring long rangers and important goals. He had stints with the junior national teams in Ghana. And also he is one of 4 Penn FC players on loan right now from Inter Allies FC, which is in the Ghanaian top division.
Brian Kaiser, a veritable encyclopedia of player information.
I was looking a lot here. He's also 5'10", 24 years old, but I don't know his blood type, and I'm not going to give it to you if I knew it. Got a foul called back up here near the middle of the pitch against Charleston, against Penn FC. So it'll be Charleston with the restart. Putting it back into play will be Vincenzo Candela. Candela, in his second start of the season, does have an assist. I believe that was on the goal in that earlier matchup between the two teams. This one is a ball that just kept rising and rising all the way back to the keeper and never was any trouble for Pizer. So he'll punt it forward. Miscommunication here. Mueller has to head it all the way back in a strong snap header to get it back to Desno Cooper. Here comes Thomas to Bolt. Bolt plays the ball long. This mimics a lot of what we saw in game one. Pizer puts the left foot to it and did not get much on it. Aconkwa pressured him enough to make that be uneasy on the clearance.
Miskicked a little bit there. And, you know, as Harrisburg struggles here a little bit to mount much of an attack, it's interesting that Coach Voss, another card here.
Oh, yeah, this is definitely going to be yellow to the point where some of the players are probably going to ask for red, but you will very rarely see that. But Jay Bolt got a piece of the leg on that one on the way by. Talking to, and here comes the card. It is yellow. So Hawkins is the guy who had a chunk taken out of his leg on that one, and it will be Bolt who picks up the yellow card. Second of the game here against Charleston. Van Schaik had one in the first half.
Prior to the card, I was saying, you know, at halftime, Coach Voss, the first-year coach of Penn FC, was really focused in his disappointment on the defensive aspect of the Penn FC side, saying that there were too many gaps, they had allowed too much space to be created, etc. But as you look at this squad coming forward now, they really haven't created the scoring opportunities that they need to have. And as you know, they've been relatively anemic, Brian, in goals scored this season. This is something that really has to be addressed and adjusted. A lot of it's going to be simply the chemistry, new players working together. But the system is going to have to produce more opportunities than it has tonight.
One goal in 3.5 games, and now we've got a foul called. And this foul, I believe, our center referee has whistled this against.
Getting a little testy out of
it is. These two teams traditionally in the past have been that way. Bafo colliding with Nunga.
Doesn't look like a card now. Now it's reaching in. Now there it is.
It's going to be Bafo picking, or check that. I'm sorry, that's not Bafo. I'm wrong about that. There was a number change on that one. Freddie Apoku. Freddie Apoku actually is wearing number 26 today. So I gave all that great information on Bafo, and Apoku is the guy who's wearing number 26 today. So my fault on that one. Freddie Apoku was here in Harrisburg a year ago, had 7 starts.
Don't be too tough on yourself because the stat sheet we were given didn't have a number 26.
Understood. I was able to pick that up from something else. Basically, a lot of the same stuff I just said about Bafo anyways applies to Apoku. He's Ghanaian. He's only 5'6", and he also is on loan from Inter Allies FC, but he is in his second year here on the island here for Penn FC. We're here in the 54th minute right now, still a scoreless game between these two teams, and all of a sudden our center referee Guido Gonzalez Jr. has had a little bit more to do in reaching to the pocket here in half number 2. A couple of early cards and the ball played over the far sideline. A throw-in coming up for the Battery. Visit the USL's Instagram story every Monday evening to watch Kelsey Steele's hat trick as she breaks down 3 key talking points from the previous week's action. Long throw into the Penn FC end. Couple headers back and forth between the two teams, and M. Kasana finally has his header towed back the other way by the Battery. Aconkwa trying to step around. Tribbett went to ground, was able to bring the ball with him. Calvano plays it to the middle. Can they get there first? They do. Here is Menjivar for Penn FC. Long ball down here to the left flank, and a great job that time by the captain. Taylor Mueller able not just to win the tackle that time on Mohammed, but also toes the ball off of him to win the throw for the Battery.
And as the sun has set here at City Island and the FNB field, getting a little chilly out on the pitch. Some guys like this, some guys prefer it real warm. I don't know where most of the Penn FC guys are, or the Charleston Battery, but the temperature has certainly dropped a few degrees.
It's still a heck of a lot better than the weather we've had recently here in this area. A lot of rain and whatnot. We've got another card coming up is now Ken Tribbett, who had wandered all the way up to midfield. And not really sure why he was all the way up there. And as he does, he clips the back of the on-rushing Battery player as they played the ball to Higashi. And for the second time this game, Higashi is the target and goes down. And the yellow card shown to Tribbett here in the 56th minute.
I've lost track, but I think that's 6 for the match. Is that right? You've lost track too?
I've lost track also.
Been a bundle.
It's 5 or 6 right now between. I think it might be 3 for Penn FC and 2 for Charleston. But it's
an accumulation, there's no question. And it is, I mean, you can feel it down on the pitch. The play is a little testy right now.
I think you're also looking at 2 teams that are not in the playoff picture right now in terms of the standings. And while it's early in the season, and that sort of pressure does mount when you are trying and searching for wins. Here's a nice ball played in the back from Thomas. Okonkwo got a piece of it initially and was able to do a good job of tooling it off of Hawkins for a corner.
They're going to give him the corner.
Yeah, he initially stepped over that ball and missed it, but was able to at least save it enough to grab a corner for his team.
And this may be the first corner for Charleston, is that right?
I think they had one in the first half.
I think senior moments, Brian. I try to remember every little detail, and there haven't been many.
And here comes the corner kick. Ball driven into the box and headed away by Penn FC. Benjavar now drops it back, and Penn FC will look to run out on the counter. Ball deflected around, and Battery will be just fine, just clearing the ball back into the Penn FC end for a throw-in.
But no real counter to speak of there, Brian. No people being brought forward. You know, you understand what's going on, but at some point in the match, you've got to be able to create and build a consistent attack and create real scoring opportunities, which Penn FC really hasn't done tonight.
Hackshaw called for the foul for the Battery. Here's ball played in the middle of the field. Ball played up. Can Hawkins keep it in? He does. Well done there. Mohammed now looking for an on-rushing Opoku. Opoku won't get there first. Thomas will slide it out over to the near sideline, but it's a throw in to the left of the box for Penn FC. Benjavar, who has the team's lone assist this season. Plays it all the way back now to Calvano. Tribbett down the middle of the field. Turning on his Gaval. Pedro Gaval all the way back here. They're going to switch the point of attack from left to the left side of the Penn FC attack. Here to this near side where our camera angle is. Benjavar drops it off. One side is Mohammed, crossed into the box from Opoku, but immediately deflected away and sent out by Candela of Charleston. Up the field they go. One-on-one battle won by Okonkwo initially, but Calvano kept fighting, and the veteran Brazilian defender wins the foul on Okonkwo. See this rushing, a lot of arm wrestling, and finally the final tug there by the Nigerian was enough to pick up the foul.
Calvano really played that very smartly, and thinking a little bit ahead, Brian. The World Cup comes around in just a couple of months, and I'll be wearing my yellow for La Seleção and the Brazilian national team.
I am still a free agent with the U.S. not qualifying. I'm looking at putting my allegiance behind Iceland because of how cool their claps are.
Really is a shame that the U.S. failed this time. It really is.
That's part of the reason that this league being and growing as much as it is so important, because of the ability to try to produce top-notch soccer worldwide for the United States. And we're seeing a lot of great soccer, both international players and U.S. players. One of those international players, Lucky Mkasana, the last one to touch that ball, as another one of those players from CONCACAF, the guy who plays for the Trinidad and Tobago national team from time to time, Neville Hackshaw, gets the throw-in for Charleston. Ball played high. Mohammed can't get enough of it, but it's headed back, and Cooper is there to gobble it up. For Charleston, play fast play from the Pennsylvania Lottery. New games every month mean more ways to win. Players must be 18 or older. Please play responsibly. Benefits older Pennsylvanians every day. Here's Hackshaw with the left foot. It's about the time when, in the first meeting back on March 24th, a goal was found by the home team that night, that being Charleston. Can Penn FC return the favor? There's a ball into the box here. Not enough on it, though. And Anungwa is able to send it back to midfield.
Yeah, they just need a better delivery on that one, Brian, because there were some men posted up inside the box in pretty good position to score.
Hawkins has had a very solid game for Penn FC. He now goes to Kopu. Poku drops it back, and Kasada, great shot! And it's taken right on frame by Gaval, but Cooper in the perfect position, didn't have to move a whole lot.
There was a very nice opportunity, though. Well played, good ball through, and a really good opportunity. Unfortunately, a point-blank shot, the keeper right there.
Pedro Gaval, first year with Penn FC, played the last 2 years with NASL's FC Edmonton. Before that, played the previous 9 years professionally in Portugal. Ball sent searching to the right side of the Penn FC attack, but cannot find the onrushing Jake Bond before the sideline throw-in coming up for the Battery. Select is the official soccer ball of the USL. For the latest Select products and special offers, please visit www.selectsportamerica.com. Receive free shipping on orders over $50. Throw in. Ricocheting back and forth between the two teams as we are still scoreless here on the 62nd minute of play. This is the inaugural home match for the rebranded Penn FC franchise. Looking to send the home fans home happy tonight. Might only take a single goal here, Charlie.
It's beginning to look that way. It really is. It's been a defensive struggle thus far, a pitcher's battle if it were baseball. But Penn FC really looking to establish some offensive consistency and a consistent attack, and with it some scoring opportunities.
Bond with the ball up to Mohammed, slips a little bit, now trying to turn, cannot get around to Hackshaw. Drop back, Anunga. Now Higashi has it in the middle of the field. Here's Guerra with a little bit of room. Cuts down the left side, stops, pulls it back, and will switch the point of attack, looking for Bolt, who's been dangerous at times over on that right flank. Square ball played inside, stepped in perfectly by Hawkins, and here comes Penn FC the other way. The left-footed cross attempt is a shank, but it was deflected. It looked, nope, it was a shank. It was that far off, unfortunately.
But they're holding the entire back line, Brian, and even the midfielders aren't moving up quickly. I'm not sure that I understand that.
Gaval was the guy who ended up twisting that one out of play. We have a substitution entering the game. That's going to be Ian Svantesson. And that he comes in for Patrick Okonkwo. That will be the 64th minute. So Svantesson comes into the game. He's a guy who already this season had started the previous 4 games, and you talk about a guy who changes the look of things for this team immediately. Svantesson, 24 years old, 6'6", and was with the Tulsa Roughbacks a year ago where he led that team with 11 goals. We have a tug of the shirt of Higashi coming by, and it's going to be a dangerous free kick opportunity with a 6'6" guy in the box who immediately becomes a big-time target.
That's a lot of size. And
as a yellow also. Yellow to Jake Bond of Penn FC. Wow. I believe they gave him that one because of the tug on the way by, impeding an opportunity there for Charleston. As card number 6.
He hasn't been bashful about handing out those cards tonight, Brad.
He has not. So it will be an opportunity here for the Battery. See what they have. They've got 5 guys circled up around the 18 on the back post. They all set into motion, and the officials like, no, guys.
A lot of movement on this opportunity set piece.
And here comes the twisting ball. Pizer will punch it out. Does it get over the sideline? It does. It will not be a corner. It will be a throw coming up for the Battery. Higashi will throw it in from this near side. Penn FC very aware here Hawkins will head it back to a more neutral position. Great job getting it all the way back up to a neutral position, but Higashi will keep it in now into the offensive half of the field. Bolt working against Hawkins. Hawkins, can he keep it in? Keep it in. Yes, he does. Tries to blast it off of Bolt. It will stay in play, and finally will go off of Hawkins out of play over the near sideline for a throw for the Battery.
Well defended there.
Well said. And they will allow that throw. Bolt, how much air can he get on this one? Is Van Tassen. They play it back to him, left-footed right back in by Bolt and cleared by Penn FC to the neutral portion of the field. And here comes Penn FC. Apoku does it down the left side. Gaval trying to get around two players, cannot. Thomas will work it all the way back. Ball actually hit him very close, but there's no angle there for the official on the far side who would have to make that call, and it will stay in play. Back to the middle of the field it goes. Tribbett down to Bond on the right side. He'll chip towards the box. Good first touch from Mohammed. Mkasana looking for him to go 1-2. The roots were on Saleh Muhammad, and no opportunity there as Cooper picks it up.
And again, no real communication there, Brian, and that's one of the things I think you will see as the season progresses and these players get to know each other better and that chemistry develops.
ESPN Plus is the new streaming home of the USL in the United States. Watch all the action throughout the 2018 regular season and USL Cup playoffs starting on Saturday, April 14th. Visit USLsoccer.com for more details. Great to have everybody who's joining us tonight for tonight's broadcast, whether you're in Pennsylvania, whether you're in South Carolina, or whether you're anywhere else right now, as we are able to reach all of you out there, whether a fan of either one of these teams or just soccer in general. Great to have you along. Brian Kaiser along with Charlie Giroux, as we are in the 68th minute of a scoreless match between Penn FC and the Charleston Battery. There'll be a throw-in coming up. The team from the Keystone State. Ball eludes Ken Tribbett, goes all the way back to Ramu Pizer. The keeper will blast it into the Charleston end of the field. Quick header up. Well done there by Estaquio. Mkasana looking to Muhammad, who tries to find Estaquio making the move up the field, but it was too much on the pass. Hackshaw the other way. Battery coming with numbers here into the offensive half of the field. Ball played up. Onside it is. A pass to the middle. Chipped away nicely by Calvano. Running it down, that is Guerra. Turning to the inside. Bond is able to chip it. And they are finally able to almost clear it, but a poor clearance now across the other way. Much too high for Van Tassen. And Penn FC runs it down.
And again, a lot of danger written on that situation. Calvano making a good play on the back line to really save them from potentially a goal score opportunity.
Veteran foul drawn that time as the 30-year-old Lucky Mkasana, in his fourth straight start for Penn FC, is able to induce a foul by Skylar Thomas, the big defender of the Charleston Battery. So Estaquio put it back into play. Hawkins with that dangerous left foot. Pull it back to Estaquio. Well, they look to move it the other side. Calvano comes forward. A lot of numbers middle, but nothing supporting, and a hard ball out of play by Muhammad that cannot be controlled by Jake Bond.
And Brian, I think you just hit the nail on the head there. Nothing supporting. That's been the situation on so many times tonight when Penn FC has come forward. The back line has stayed basically in position, and a lot of the midfielders have hung back, so there's no support at all, and that's where you're going to create both space and scoring opportunities.
Foul called in the middle of the field against Charleston. depending what Penn FC can do. And instead, they do not try to take their advantage to try to send the ball forward. Instead, they pull it back. Hawkins looking for Opoku. Nice header forward. Here's Mkasana playing across the middle of the mouth, and no one there. And discretion, the better part of valor on the back door, as Van Schaik will play it over the end line for a corner kick for Penn FC. Maybe the best opportunity of the night.
The best opportunity that I've seen. I mean, that was really it. Here you see it.
Opoku with the great header forward. The dummy run from Mohammed, and nobody there on the back post. Here's the chance for Penn FC that they're looking for. They have somebody short. They will play it there. Back over here. Here comes Gaval. Looking back post. Mkasana can't swing it back to the middle of the field, and it goes harmlessly over the end line for a goal kick for Charleston.
Opportunity set piece there for Penn FC, and not too much to show for it.
Play the fast games, the fast play games from the Pennsylvania Lottery. Players must be 18 or older. Please play responsibly. For the 71st minute here at FNB Field in Harrisburg, Pennsylvania. The Pennsylvania State Capitol seeing no scoring so far as two of the team's best defensive sides continue to do battle. Penn FC has conceded in 3 games just twice this season. And if you overlook the outlier on the Charleston Battery schedule, that being the 5-2 loss to the New York Red Bulls, they have conceded just twice in their other 2 games. I'm willing to forgive them for that one.
Most would be.
Here's Hackshaw. Now to Anunga. Dropping it all the way back to the captain, Mueller. And now back to the keeper as they want Penn FC to chase. In the first half, they were more willing to do so. Now, not pushing as far forward towards these back 3. Long ball played forward. Here comes a run for Svantesson. Opoku has to be sure, and he does as he plays it up to Mkasana in the middle of the field. Menjivar over to Bond. A little bit of room for Jake this time. He'll cut it back to the inside. Poor pass, though, is deflected and taken away. Here comes Charleston the other way. Can they spring something? Chip forward looking for Guerra. Nobody there but white jerseys initially. Hawkins up to Gaval. Opoku with a nice touch to keep it in play. Same can be said for Gaval that time, as Penn FC with a little bit of possession here in their own half. Here comes a step forward. Menjivar able to win the duel there with Anunga. Sends a long ball. Jake Bond has a little bit of room down that right side. Can he get the cross in? He does. But it's going to be won by the much taller Skylar Thomas. Estacchio making a rush forward. He goes down, no call by the official. And here comes the Battery the other way with one of the key defensive mids for Penn FC down the other way initially, but the ball goes harmlessly over the far sideline here in the 74th minute. Hear exclusive stories directly from the USL's players in USLsoccer.com's From the Pitch, with written and video content that provides unfiltered access and a first-person look into the professional game and players' everyday lives. Mkasana for Penn FC, looking to outrun his man, cannot get by Mueller. Too many striped jerseys out there for the Charleston Battery in their classic road unis. One of the more classy looks that you're going to have in the entire league. You see teams year in and year out, Charlie, you really respect some of the classic looks that some of these teams have.
And this is one of the better looks, Brian, and a good squad to go along with the nice kilts.
A little keep away here for the Battery at this point is Raul Voss in his first year on the Penn FC sideline as the head coach. And on the opposing side, a guy who is a legend in the USL, Mike Anhauser. 15th year on the head coaching side, 26th season with the Battery overall as an assistant and a player as well as their head man.
Winding down the 75th minute here at FNB Field, still no score and relatively few scoring opportunities.
But here's an opportunity. Anungwa, good turn. Higashi, can he get it away? No, good defense. And Opoku has done well since coming in the game from the backside. He's out on that left wing, and he has done a good job of getting back defensively and harassing that time Higashi into not getting the ball away, and Pizer able to gobble it up.
That was the substitution promised at halftime by Coach Voss, and it really has worked out.
A deflection, and the ball is come out on. Great job by Pizer just to get a piece of that, and he's going to go down after that one as he took a point-blank shot after a deflection. Gave an opportunity to the Battery, and sort of how we saw in the first half, Charlie. All of a sudden, as we're getting further and further along here towards the end of the half, it is the Battery who are having the better of the opportunities.
They are, and Pizer's feeling it.
It was a great save that time by him, recognizing he had to come off his line quickly to shut down the angle on that one, but it will give a corner kick to the Charleston Battery, as it will be an in-swinger from the left foot. And Shake punched away by Pizer all the way out to the left side. Higashi is there. And he'll just let it go for a throw. Allows him to throw it all the way back here, all the way to the middle of the field in the center circle is Taylor Mueller. Ball sent in. Easy one that time as Thomas was up there. The tall defender from this Charleston Battery team at 6'3". No chance of getting that one. Opoku for Penn FC will look to switch the point of attack. Plays it behind Jake Bond. Slows down the attack but allows Menjivar to move forward. Here's Estacquio in the middle of the field. Here he comes with the dribble. Over to Menjivar on the right side. Chipped up towards the box. Hackshaw has no problem with that one, and they'll play it over to the left side. Chip it up near the middle of the field. Here's an opportunity. Here comes a run from Anungwa. And a perfectly timed run from Garrett. One-on-one be the keeper, and his shot is going to be scored. And there is a goal for the Charleston Battery on a beautifully timed run. And who else but the guy who has done it now 4 straight games for the Charleston Battery against Penn FC or the Harrisburg City Islanders, and that is Atala Guerra.
Beautifully timed run, and one-on-one with the keeper. There's nothing you're going to do. I mean, this is just a little bit of a breakdown. You see the defender there watching that escape.
And that's the split between Calvano and Hawkins, who incidentally are the center back and the left back respectively. They were shifted all the way over that time because of how far they were up the field. Beautifully timed ball, and you can see perfectly timed onside. One move, and even though it wasn't the greatest of touches, still enough to allow Atala Guerra his second goal of the season.
When you split the defenders there and you've got somebody with the speed and ability of Guerra, it's kind of game, set, and match. So here at the 78th minute, 1 for Charleston, 0 for Penn FC.
77th minute is the time. Atala Guerra from Anunga. For Anunga, his first assist of the season to go along with 2 goals. And that is our score at this point. So now Penn FC has to scramble. They've made a substitution. Marco Franco is in the game, and he's getting the ball now sent to him on the right flank, but even his fresh legs can't run that one down as it was over the end line it goes. He comes in place of Jake Bond. Which teams are hitting peak performance in the USL? Find out every Monday afternoon when the USLsoccer.com power rankings are released to see where your team sits after its most recent results. Goal kick here for Charleston, trying to have the 9th straight victory for them in this series. And even though this is a rebranded franchise, if you go back to what the rebranding was with the Harrisburg City Islanders, this has never been a great matchup for whatever reason for the team from the capital city of Pennsylvania.
It's been a tough one, Brian, and they've still got 10 minutes here to tie it up, but it's been a difficult situation in the late going with Charleston historically.
And with Charleston now in control, they will try to do everything they can to work the ball around and work some clock as well here on the road, trying to take 3 on the road here in Pennsylvania. When they were not able to get 3 the last game they played against Bethlehem Steel, a 1-1 draw on that one, felt that they should have come out with 3 points in that one. It would be a big coup for them coming up here and getting 3 in this one if they can hold this result. Penn FC, it is Gaval. Estaquio switches the point of attack to the left-hand side. That's the near side of the field to Opoku. Into the box it goes, headed away and cleared by Anunga. Opoku will take a shot, and that one, I believe, is going to go wide. I wasn't sure if he got a deflection on that one.
I thought he might have. I thought you might have gotten a corner out of that, but apparently not.
It sounded like there was a deflection.
And it looked like the ball moved direction, which is usually an indication that there's some sort of deflection.
Substitution for Penn FC. It'll be the first appearance of the year for Jerry Ortiz. He replaces Thiago Calvano in a definite move for Penn FC to try to increase
a little offensive spark.
I think so. Ortiz is a Colombian national and has been playing professionally in Colombia since 2011 before joining Penn FC this year for his first season. Ortiz in the game, and now Penn FC pushing numbers forward as best they can here in the 81st minute, down 1-0. Sliding down, that is Ortiz. Now inside to Menjivar. Back outside. Ortiz looking. Here's a ball searching in the middle, but nobody there for Penn FC, as once again everyone was pushed too far forward and no one supporting on the backside. Estaquio, as they keep the possession. Here's Opoku. Played back to him. Poor recognition there, and an opportunity as Estaquio comes in. He's getting a card for that one as he takes down Jay Bolt. So the card against Mauro Estaquio in the 82nd minute. Pretty easy call here. That's the miscommunication again.
It is,
between
but
two
Bolt
players.
has given them trouble tonight. He's, defending him has caused a lot of cards and a lot of miscues on the Penn FC side. He has been really difficult to defend.
Going to have a substitution coming in here for Charleston. It looks like Nico Rittmeyer will check into the game in place of Kotaro Higashi. So Rittmeyer for Higashi here in the 83rd minute. And it is Charleston with the restart as Thomas will send it down into the offensive half. Poku for Penn FC. Penn FC right back to action here on Tuesday. No time to lick your wounds if you don't come out with a win here tonight. Nashville comes to town on Tuesday at 6:30. Ball played down. Swantassen can't get there in time for Charleston, and here comes Penn FC. And again, they have taken numbers out of the back. At least some numbers as far as Calvano being a strictly defensive player, and bringing in some guys who might look to push a little bit further in the field. Actually, it looks like, in a way, if you call their three-man back with them pushing the wings forward, what they are, it almost looks like they're a four-man back, but they're definitely keeping those guys very active on the outside, sometimes back as few as two back there for Penn FC. Here's Gavao on the left side of the box. Plays Opoku. Opoku will cross, and that is an errant cross that will go over the end line and had no chance of doing anything.
They're bringing a lot of people forward, as they have to do at this stage of the match, Brian, and they've got to create real scoring opportunities. They're kind of flailing in some respects, looking for opportunities. They've got to use the personnel that they have up front, see what they can do in the remaining minutes of this match.
Fans want to get exclusive video content and photography from across the USL? Make sure to follow the league's official Instagram account at USL Soccer. Cooper's goal kick was sent down into the Penn FC end, where Penn FC controls it now. Opoku, who has at least shown signs of some good change of pace here in the second half for Penn FC. Menjivar over on the right side. That ball's played in the middle of the field and deflected away. Called by Estaquio, who will send it over to Gavao. Tries to get it to his left foot, now cuts it back to his right. Back heels it to an on-rushing Opoku, but he didn't recognize it right away, and it's cleared away by Charleston back into the Penn FC half.
And again, I think you're seeing some of those little lack of communication situations. There, the heel pass went to where he thought he was going to be. couple of minutes ago, you saw it on the defensive end. Those things will come as the season. There you go.
Mohammed, a great back heel down in the box, nothing called. I think if we see the replay, that may have been embellished a little bit anyways, but definitely the home fans not happy about that one, as there was an on-rushing player for Penn FC who was trying to make that one, and that was Ortiz. He's got it again now. Ortiz, the substitute, drills it off the foot of Hackshaw over the end line. It's a corner kick for Penn FC. They're going to shift numbers forward. In fact, I don't even see anybody really staying back at all except for Opoku, who stands still maybe about 40 yards from goal, but everybody else really pushing up for Penn FC. And a low ball into the box. Played through, a shot deflected and drilled right off of another Penn FC player. Actually, they're going to say it was not a Penn FC player. It was drilled off of the Battery player. Great block that time. Clears the zone momentarily. Here's Ortiz down the right side. That cross is going to be sent. Was that a deflection? They say no. So it will be another goal kick coming up for Charleston, and for a keeper who is as outstanding as Odesno Cooper is, he has had very little to do tonight, Charlie, as far as saving shots. It's been mostly picking up the ball and being able to put it, set it up for goal kicks.
Yeah, not true challenge to the Charleston keeper tonight, something that the Penn FC side is really going to have to work on.
Ortiz sends it over on the right side. There's Mohammed, double team there, can't get around that double team. Man shakes there, so is Hackshaw, and Hackshaw will send it, but still right back to the Penn FC side. Dispossess the ball, now bringing out to the near side here midway through the 87th minute of play, and Bolt drills it off of the noggin of Gaval, out of play here to the near side.
And I'm guessing, Brian, we're going to see relatively little, if any, stoppage at the end of this match.
You had cards, you had a goal.
Cards, and you had a goal.
I still think they'll put at least 3 on. I don't think they can ask for much more than that. There was one collision of heads early in the half also, so I still don't think we're going to see any more than 3 minutes of stoppage time.
Well, we called for relatively little in the first half, and we got none.
Now Penn FC at this point looking for as much as they can get right now, considering how things are. A cross by Estacquio is sent in, and it is deflected over the end line, and Ortiz will go over to take yet another corner kick for Penn FC.
Did a big cross off this corner. That last one, as you know, was deflected by a Charleston defender. Really took away the opportunity.
Ortiz with an outswinger this time, and the official blows it dead, as we had a little pushing and shoving inside, as the Capital City crew and the fans in that end by the Charleston goal mouth not happy with the pushing and shoving that was going on. You got the size of
the big 6'6" Svanson taking the role of enforcer out there.
And they're calling the captains over. A pair of number 4s, Kenny Tribbett for Penn FC, Taylor Mueller for Charleston. And our center referee has decided he's had enough of this. He's doled out several cards in this one, but
he's clearly been in control of this match.
No
question about it. He's done a good job in that regard.
So he has let everyone know he's not dealing with it. And now we'll try this again. Ortiz with the outswinger. The right foot goes to it, near post, nobody there except for Battery, but ball kept back in. Estacquio chips it, far post, bicycle kick, goal! Kenny Tribbett! Kenny Tribbett the goal!
With the bicycle kick off a great ball into the box. Can't ask for anything more than that, and that's one for your highlight.
You bet it is. That could be a USL Goal of the Week candidate right there, and especially the situation in the 89th minute. A bite from Kenny Tribbett on the back post. Equalizes us at 1.
And it lights up the fans here. Here you go. Here's another look.
Ball played by Estacquio. Nobody on the back post. And just like that, just like you practice it all the time, Penn FC has tied this game up at 1.
The perfect chip. Look at this. Little, he sees him.
And we will say all we can about the skill from the captain, of Penn FC, Kenny Tribbett on that one. The native of Centennial, Colorado. Played club soccer for the Colorado Rush in his youth days. And I know we've got some of those folks watching as well, as there's a branding with that group as well with this Penn FC team. So they are thrilled that one of their own was able to equalize in this one, but say a lot also about that scoop by Estacquio.
Beautifully played.
4 minutes of stoppage time is the call.
You were pretty close.
Well, you had another goal right there. Maybe that was another minute. A deflected ball there. As now both teams trying to see if they can somehow scramble and get 3 points instead of 1 apiece.
Beautifully played, and I know that Charleston's going to want to look at that one a few times on film, because you had 3 Penn FC players completely unmarked on the far side of that box.
Offside is going to be the call as Jay Bolt was released, and nothing doing there as quickly the linesman was there. Play fast to win instantly with Fast Play from the Pennsylvania Lottery. With new games every month, there are so many ways to win. Players must be 18 or older. Please play responsibly. Benefits older Pennsylvanians every day. Brian Kaiser along with Charlie Giroux. Glad you could join us this evening wherever you are. What was maybe a sleepy game for a while, all of a sudden picked up. 77th minute goal from Atola Guerra, assisted by Ta Anunga, gave Charleston the lead, but in the 89th minute, just happening a few moments ago, it was the first goal of the season for Kenny Tribbett, the Penn FC captain, assisted by Mauro Estacquio.
He's cramping, that's all that is. You see him pulling on the toes, you know what that means.
That's Jay Bolt, his 3rd start of the season, started that first game, and
who has been a thorn in the Penn FC side tonight.
He was a thorn the first time these two teams played as well. Jerry Ortiz, who has made a difference since coming on the game as a substitute late in this second half for Penn FC. Ball to the back post. Cooper is there, leaping over top of Lucky M. Kasana. Battery will look to go the other way. Quickly up they go. Svan Tassen. Now to Guerra, switches the point of attack to the left side. Time of the essence for both these teams. Anunga gets down the side. No foul called. They're going to say at last is touched by Anunga. Throw in coming up for Penn FC. Again, we are in stoppage time right now. 4 minutes was the initial call, although we did have during the stoppage time already a little bit of a break because of Bolt cramping up a little bit, so we'll see if they add anything else to that. Ball up to Mkasana. These two teams in the history of the matchup between these two squads have only ever drawn once. And that was all the way the 3rd meeting between these two teams when the Penn FC was Harrisburg City Islanders. That was back in the 3rd meeting that they ever had between each other. It was the only draw in this series. 16-5-1 is Charleston in this series, but Penn FC looking to get one back. They will bring Bolt out here as they still have a sub left to go for Mike Anhauser.
One of the truths about physiology is that once you start to cramp, you're really in trouble.
And the guy that they will bring on is Ryan Arambola. So Penn FC will play the ball high in the air, but nobody there. It takes so long to take a hop that nobody's able to get it cleanly. Can somebody find a winner here?
And that's what both sides are looking for, Brian, just the least little opportunity.
Ball played long back into the Penn FC end, headed right back away from pressure. Anunga, who has the assist for the Battery in this one with the possession. Guerra, the goal scorer, now on the far side, wide open with an opportunity, a shot, and it's wide. And that's one of the substitutes who came in the game. That right there is Nico Rittmeyer. Cannot find the mark. And that right there is the final whistle. That's your answer. Nobody finding a winner here tonight. I think Charleston initially would have been happy with the draw if you told them going into the second half, but after they got the winner, they have to be disappointed. On the other hand, Penn FC will take whatever they can out of this game considering the situation.
Absolutely, and Penn FC has to walk out of here tonight, Brian, really encouraged just by that one play there. A spectacular goal. Pumps up your fan base, gives you a little bit of encouragement with some things that didn't go well tonight. You walk out of here with a draw, you walk out of here with points, and you do once again on your home field what you've done consistently, and I think they're happy.
All right, so 1-1. We're going to toss this thing to a break. When we come back, we'll close things out here. Penn FC, Charleston Battery, draw tonight at 1.
All across Pennsylvania, families are living their lives in their own homes. Not long ago, none of these families believed it possible. And then they discovered there was someone who could help. What was once only a dream is now a reality. Welcome home.
Did you know all electronics must be recycled? It's the law, but more importantly, it's the right thing to do.
At the Recycling Center, Dauphin County residents can recycle older broken TVs, computers, cell phones, laptops, major appliances, even paper.
The Recycling Center is conveniently located on Cameron Street in Harrisburg. It makes recycling fast, safe, and simple.
Stop by the Dauphin County Recycling Center today and help us recycle the right way.
Welcome back here to FNB Field, where the home team ends up salvaging a draw with the Charleston Battery. 1-1, the final score here in a game which was slow early, Charlie, but at the end, enough action for everyone to be thrilled.
A lot of excitement in the last 10 minutes of this match, and you see the Penn FC fans down there greeting their home team, and a real good close tonight. A spectacular goal and something upon which Penn FC can build. Here are your highlights.
Let's take a look at these right now. Early on there wasn't much to talk about, but then in the 77th minute, it was the guy that we highlighted pregame, Atala Guerra, making a perfectly timed run on the assist from Ta Anung, and it all starts there in the back. Quick counterattack, and Charleston was ready to spring.
Quick counter, they split the defenders, one-on-one with the keeper, and there's really not much you can do. And as you correctly point out, the player you highlighted at the beginning of the game.
So one more look at this one from field level. Great job all night by our camera crew showing you those shots, and there it is. Didn't have to be the greatest of touches, and Hawkins, who had played such a great game, just couldn't quite back in time. But here was the equalizer. The ball headed initially. Charleston lost their shape for a moment, and that was enough for Estacquio to find a beautiful bite from Kenny Tribbett. And the Philadelphia Union veteran able to score in his return to the island.
Doesn't get any prettier than that. And coming late in the match, as I say, that spills over into your next contest.
A beautiful goal by Kenny Tribbett. One more look at this one, and just watch the crowd in the background as well just explode as the home crowd gets the tie here. Yeah, they say the tie is like kissing your sister, but I guess it was okay tonight for both.
You'll take a little smooch tonight.
Next home match for the Charleston Battery. Check that. That'll be their next match. Will be on Tuesday, April 24th. They are at Atlanta United 2, their final game in their road swing before they return back home next Saturday to play the Tampa Bay Rowdies. For Penn FC, their next home match will be this coming Tuesday. We'll have that for you. 6:30 is the kick time here at FNB Field. For tickets, www.pennfc.com as Penn FC takes on Nashville SC. Well, it's been a great night for everyone here. Charlie, it's been a blast working with you. Let's do this again on Tuesday.
I'll look forward to seeing you, Brian.
For everyone in our truck, appreciate all of their work. Great work in all the pictures here tonight. Our final score here. From FNB Field, it's Penn FC 1. The Charleston Battery 1. These two teams draw and will continue here in USL Soccer.
This copyrighted telecast of the United Soccer League may not be retransmitted, rebroadcast, or reproduced without the express written consent of the United Soccer League.